Ep3, Season 2 of The Conversation on P4CM. I am your host, Yvonne Orgy, and I have two amazing guests with me, Mr. AD, Mr. Caz, and today we're going to find out from these gentlemen who have been married for quite a couple years.
Yes,
couple years, on how to know if a dude is the real deal or not. Ladies, this is for us. And fellas, it's for you too, because you need to watch this to know if you're a real dude, if you're not a real dude, so you can get to be a real dude, so you can get with these real women. Bam! That's what we did. I like that. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about how to know if he is the real deal. Yes. So how do we know?
Okay, so we have...
Help the single ladies out.
That's a good question.
We have 5 criteria.
5.
Okay, this is not an exhaustive list.
Okay.
However, these are some important keys you need to have. Your brother, you're ready to be married, and your sister, you're looking for a guy that's supposed to be ready to get married. These 5.
Major key alert.
Major keys.
Major key alert.
These 5 need to be in play.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to start you off with number 1.
Number 1.
Okay. He has to at least have a real relationship with Christ.
Okay, I feel that.
Now, but
nowhere like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Not just because you got Matthew, Mark, and Luke. You gotta know where John is.
You gotta know where John is. Or
okay.
Can you find 1 Thessalonians? Do you know where that is?
That's a who?
Yeah,
okay, so you're not the one.
Right.
Do you even know that that's a book in the Bible?
Do you know that 1 Thessalonians is an actual book in the Bible?
Okay, so he gotta have a real relationship. What's a real relationship with God?
I'm so glad you asked me that because people are confused. Some people think that if you commit sin more than once, your relationship ain't real.
Okay, well then that would nobody would have a relationship. Right?
Exactly. I think the real, what qualifies as real, is a dedication to service to Christ, regardless of your own flaws, your own insecurities, your own difficulties. Your pursuit of him is relentless.
Because David messed up a lot, but he's still a man after God's own heart.
Exactly. You have to have a heart to pursue Christ, no matter how much you mess up, or no matter what the circumstances are.
And you got to try not to mess up.
You
can't just be like, oh, I messed up. But you know how I be doing Jesus. Like, that's not.
You know, AD, I'll add to that. You know, the Bible tells us you tell the tree by its fruit. And on top of somebody just saying, I'm a Christian,
right?
You got to watch them. You got to kind of watch how they interact with other people. Right. Look at the lifestyle that they display. You know what I mean? If they're going to say, I'm a Christian, then their fruit should display that.
Yes.
You'll know a tree.
Sir,
you will know a tree.
Unless we gonna curse you like Jesus cursed that fig tree.
Right.
You're never gonna bear no fruit. You're never gonna bear no fruit. So that's your number 1.
That's number 1.
Kaz, what's your number 1?
I would have to say that's my number 1 too, but I have another point that I think is very important.
Okay.
I think for a young lady who's, considering a brother to be the guy, you need to have a job.
Hey, Shator Rabasante.
He needs to have a job.
Hallelujah. You better look in the camera and say so.
Right. You better stop.
You ain't got no job?
I'm being real serious. I feel like, if a young man does not have a job, some form of provision, it's very difficult to build off of anything else aside from that.
And also, I've found that the dudes who aren't, who don't have a job or who aren't where they want to be, like purpose-wise, it's hard for them to give their best up to a relationship anyway. Like it really is, because it's like, I want to like you, but I can't take you out, and then they feel all types of
insecurities and stuff like that.
Exactly.
No, I think it's important to differentiate a job and a career. Because a lot, especially the young brothers. A lot of young brothers are in school, they have entry-level jobs, they're building up their resume, you know what I'm saying? They're getting experience.
Yes.
So a young lady can't be too critical. If a young man is just building up his, professional rapport, he needs to get himself
a good point.
So if the brother's in school, got a job at Mickey D's or wherever, don't diss him right away.
Yeah. Is he on the fries or is he on the burgers? Because
or is he the manager?
We go with the manager.
Slow down and see what the brother's plans are, and then talk to him and ask him. So, like, what are your plans? You know
Okay.
That's key.
Brother.
That's key. Having a plan.
You gotta have a plan.
You gotta have a plan. If you're not in the position of the job that you expect you to be in, or you want us to be in, you have to have some sort of plan or vision for your future.
Okay, so you gotta have an action plan, a jobby job.
Yes.
You gotta know the Lord.
Career aspirations.
Okay, be going somewhere because you can't lead nobody. Money is important.
I mean, if you get married, financial provision is a big deal. It's a huge deal. A lot of divorces.
Was there ever a time in your marriage that like I ain't not to put your business on the street, but we here, when like finances were kind of like hectic, or maybe even you were dating life, and like how did you guys power through? Because I think that's something for the guys to know too.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you date when you broke?
I can start off. So when I left college, I was supposed to go to the NFL, tore my ACL on my left knee, had to get a regular job. I became a teacher. So at 23 years old, I was making decent money, about $30,000 a year. So I was in a position to provide for a small family.
Yeah.
For my wife and I to get an apartment, a car, you know, pay bills.
Yeah.
So I was in a decent situation. I started dating right after I got out of college. My wife and I got married a year and a half after I got out of college.
Wow.
So as a young husband, I feel like just having a job that was a regular job, that had a salary, that had benefits.
Yeah.
I was in a financial position to provide for my wife.
That's
I feel like
important.
if I was not in a position to provide for my wife, I would not have gotten down on one knee and said, would you walk with me for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And so me personally, I was in a particular situation. However, it wasn't all peaches and cream after that. About 2 or 3 years later, we experienced different challenges. She went to law school. I moved from Miami to go to Gainesville with her while she was in law school. And for a period of time, I was without a job. And there were times where we were struggling in a big way. And I found myself, you know, in real life, I mean, there were times we ate off cardboard boxes, and that was our furniture. We slept on the floor, you know what I'm saying? So we prayed our way through tough times.
You did what you had to.
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, we found ourselves in a great situation.
So you got you a ride or die.
Hey, ride to live. I like saying ride to live.
Ride to live?
Because I don't want to die.
You don't want to die?
Not now.
Okay,
Like, ride to
okay.
live.
We
Like,
can ride to
You gotta die to self, though.
Oh, y'all gonna get this is a Christian channel. Y'all gonna
All right, here we go.
Okay, so wait, and I don't know if this is a situation or if it was ever a situation. I don't know if is there. How do you feel as a man if like maybe your lady makes more than you, and how do you navigate that?
That's not uncommon.
Okay.
In today's world, most of the brothers I know, not most of the brothers, but quite a few of the brothers that I know, their wives make substantially more money than they do. And it all depends on their level of maturity, whether or not they can deal with that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real issue. Some men have pride, and some men are so prideful where if their wife makes more money than they do, it causes issues at home.
Yeah. That's an insecurity issue.
Yeah, it's an insecurity thing for me. When you get married, you become one. So it's like her money is my money is your money. It's our
As
money.
long as she doesn't like make you feel lesser or anything like that.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's another scenario.
So,
Yeah.
Another episode.
What say you?
No, if I don't make as much money as my wife does, who cares? If we're one.
Yeah.
If we're one.
And if you're working hard.
If I'm working hard and I'm maxing out my potential.
Absolutely.
Okay. Who cares? You know? Are we taken care of? Are we a team? Are we one?
Yeah.
Cool. In a dating relationship, that needs to be the same mindset. First of all, you're not one.
Yeah.
So who cares what she's making? Who cares what you're making?
Exactly.
As long as you're maxing out your potential, she's maxing out her potential, doing the best that they possibly can.
Right.
Let's not even deal with that yet.
Sure.
Let's deal with the character issue.
Yeah.
No.
You know, that's what we need to be focusing on now.
Absolutely.
If we're dating,
Absolutely.
I need to understand what your character is.
Right.
And what is your character around money? You know?
Turn up.
What are your spending habits?
Yeah, all of that.
Habits.
Yeah.
So
So
you going to Atlantic City every weekend?
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how about no weekends? How about we don't go there?
I ain't
How about we put that in the mutual fund?
Right.
And money's not the most important thing. I don't want to paint that picture.
No. But it's
provision
important.
is real. During the dating process, I know we're talking about marriage and
Yeah.
scoping out the right person. But for instance, and I'm thankful, maybe I was fortunate, but my wife, while we were dating, she was my girlfriend when we started dating, you know, I had a decent job, but she had a decent job too.
Okay.
And it's like when we went out to eat and to the movie theater.
She go Dutch? Did y'all go Dutch? Oh,
And so
hey.
she
You know, I like your wife, but
listen to me. It wasn't by my
you
request.
asked me to go Dutch.
Don't hear me.
We don't go together.
I didn't say I asked her to go Dutch. I didn't say that. We went out and she knew that our conversation was leading towards marriage one day. So we were more interested in stacking our money to get ready for marriage.
Yeah.
And so when we went out, all the, you know, the things that society tells you, or the man got to pay for everything, it would be nice if the man paid for everything. But in reality, if we're both planning, we got financial dreams,
Yeah.
let's start stacking right now. Let's start splitting the bills and doing what we need to do to get ourselves.
That's somebody who got vision. That's somebody who got future in mind.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
real. And every day don't have to be, you know, Ruth Chris.
No,
It could be, you know what I'm saying? You can get creative.
Or cook. Go cook
Or
something.
cook.
Yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
learn to cook. That's
Okay.
what Caz said.
Is that on your list?
That's
That's
Ah! Glory to Jesus. What my heart is my
That's
stuff.
not on our list.
That's what I thought. Okay.
No.
Okay, so we got love Jesus, have a job, have an action plan.
Yes.
All right, what else?
Number 3,
Hey, turn up.
you got to have a real relationship with your family.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I know that gets tricky.
Mm.
I understand that gets tricky because a lot of people have difficult family situations.
Copy.
Okay.
So what is a good relationship for me?
So,
What do you mean?
well, what I mean is, okay, you have to have a family structure. I mean, something that you can refer back to, some sort of legacy. And it doesn't have to necessarily be blood, okay? So it can be clear. Okay?
So if he cursed out his mama,
That's not going to work.
Okay.
That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do
It's
to
that
you.
character thing you talk about.
That's what he's going to do to you. If that's how he treats his mom, trust me, you're next. But you need to have something that came before you, a foundation that you're building upon. Because you want to have something that you could pass on to your legacy. If you're going to be a father one day, a mother one day, you're going to pass something on. What is it that you're passing on? You got it from somewhere, okay? And if the somewhere you got it from is dysfunctional,
Hey, there it is.
then you're going to want to have something in place to counter that.
Sure.
And that's why I mean when you say it doesn't necessarily have to be blood. It could be someone, another brother that you're looking up to,
Sure.
another young lady that you're looking up to,
Yeah.
to say, okay, I'm gonna put this in you because that was garbage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're gonna work on this right here.
So I have a consulting firm,
Absolutely.
and I basically train foster kids on probation across the nation. So I go to different states, and I talk to kids about the importance of getting a job, finding a career, life skills, self-branding, career exploration, so how to survive. And I'm a mentor to many of these young men and women that I deal with, and I honestly believe that in order to become something successful, to some degree you have to see it modeled before you.
Absolutely.
We're humans, so we're creatures of pattern. We see things and we learn by what we watch. And it's a simple proverb. You don't go to an apple tree and say, excuse me, Mr. Apple, can I get a banana? You don't go to a banana tree and say, Mr. Banana, can I get an apple? You want to be a cop? Don't ask a lawyer how to be a cop.
Yeah.
Go to a police officer and say, excuse me, sir, ma'am, I'd like to be a police officer. Can you show me what it takes to be a police officer? And so it's basic principles
Absolutely.
that we got to follow. And in my opinion, when you say, have a real relationship with your family, it's important to mention that as Christians, especially as believers, our family is definitely not blood like you mentioned. It's any brother or sister that follows the principles in the Bible that we both follow. Right? And we abide by and we believe in the same sin here. They'll become a tight-knit family. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very valid point that you brought up.
Yeah.
That's real right there.
Definitely.
All right, so have a mentor or have a good relationship with people who are the closest to you, because those are the ones who know you. Because I can't, like you said, if you treat your family, regardless, I know a lot of families aren't perfect, but if you treat your family a certain way, but you but I'll never do that to you. You lying?
Yeah. Or you go to another point. If this brother or this sister, in this case, if this brother that you're looking at, young ladies, would not show you or introduce you to his family, fall back.
Fall back. Now, when is a good time though to be introduced? Is it week 2?
Not like day one, not like week 2, not like month 1 even.
Yeah.
I mean, after a while, when your conversation goes beyond just regular conversation, it goes beneath the surface, and you start talking and planning and dreaming about the future.
Okay.
If he's not introducing you to key people in his life, fall back. Pay attention.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you should probably be friends early.
Sure.
And then family.
Absolutely.
If you even got no friends,
Right.
that's a problem. You got no friends. So nobody like you.
So you just by yourself all day long.
All day, you just a hermit out in this game. Okay. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay. Caz, what's up?
I would have to say, because we are sticking to the Christian lane,
Okay.
and I want to stay there. I think that's a safe
You
lane
should
to stay
stay
in.
there. But also,
You know what?
I would say for the people who are still trying to find
Yeah.
their way, but
Yeah.
they're like, I still want to be a good dude,
Sure.
or because I have friends who are just
Right.
he's not where I am in my Christian walk, but
Yeah.
I believe that he can get there and
I
he's
feel
getting
you.
there.
Okay. So with that said,
Mhm.
a big part of a man becoming a stronger man in Christ and a woman becoming a stronger woman in Christ is not just having a mentor, but somebody that can hold them accountable. So if you're, the person that you feel as though could be your future mate, in your conversation, find out if they have somebody to hold them accountable.
Okay.
Are they going to church? That's, we talked about whether or not they're Christian or not. Do they have family? Do they have mentors? Do they have friends that they've introduced you to? But on top of that, is there somebody to hold your feet to the fire and correct you when you're wrong,
Yeah.
encourage you when you're down,
Absolutely.
challenge you when you're
Who's
weak?
checking you?
Who?
Don't
Hashtag
be
who's checking you?
A real
Who's
friend
checking you like the mail?
with the
I'm
stats.
really tired. But I do have a question because, I know we talked about this season 1 of the conversation, how it's very frustrating for women when we meet a good dude and we be like, man, you a good dude. But what your friends' situation's like, and they're like, nah,
Right.
you don't want none of my friends because all of them is Jay. It's like,
Mhm.
so to that point about having accountability, it's like,
Yeah.
how does that work? And I'm talking about Christian dudes.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not find. Maybe I was surrounded by people who could hold me accountable from the time I became a Christian, which was over 10 years ago. But I didn't pursue
Okay.
or seek accountability until I became more mature in Christ also.
Okay.
So I believe that accountability and maturity, they go hand in hand. Somebody who's being raised correctly or mentored or discipled correctly in Christianity would seek accountability because they know that that's a part of becoming a mature Christian. And so for me, I honestly believe that, you don't want to put the pressure on somebody and say, hey, do you have a brother or sister that's holding you accountable? Or da-da-da. It's not your place to do that.
Yeah.
But you need to be observant. You need to ask certain questions.
Yeah.
You need to hang out.
What's a certain question that a young lady can ask real casually over dinner just to gauge some of these things? Like, not just this
Yeah,
accountability,
yeah,
but like anything we
yeah,
talk about. Like,
yeah.
what's a, because you don't want to come and be like 20 questions.
No, I
George,
got
like,
you.
so you got a job though? No? Okay, so you like your mama? No. It's like, I thought we were just having ice cream. So what are some good questions?
Well, I don't know about questions, but I know in certain situations, when difficulty arises, does that person have someone they can bring into the situation? Okay? So,
Yeah.
to go to your question,
Right.
if you want to ask a question to find out if a person has someone that holds them accountable, you can start talking about past relationships. Okay? If you're serious to that point, you can start talking about past relationships and find out how they went, what went down, what was the breakdown, what did you do?
Sure.
Or what did you learn?
Yeah, what did you learn?
Yeah.
And then that leaves the door open to find out, did they talk to someone
Absolutely.
when they went to that difficulty? Did they bring anybody in or just try to handle it all themselves and said she's the wrong one? And didn't see any of their own
Yeah.
contribution to the problem.
Yeah.
You
You need somebody who's real.
Yeah.
Somebody who could tell the truth, man.
Yeah.
And just on that point, because I know like a lot of people of color and sometimes a lot of Christians don't seek counsel. Do you guys think that's important?
I do think it's important.
And not just like premarital counseling, but just like counseling.
I
just
was
to talk about
told
issues.
that because I work in the world with foster youth, and we tell our foster youth all the time, the best investment you can make into yourself is counseling. Despite the financial obligation, if you can have somebody conduct a conversation with you that causes you to go deeper and introspectively think about your issues and the past issues, how they deal with, how they cause, current issues to kind of surface and manifest, that's a valuable investment. In fact, I personally recommend that married couples have an accountability partner or an accountability relationship couple that can kind of just feed into their lives and give them counseling from time to time. I think that's very important.
That's real, because if you don't have someone holding you accountable, you're gonna think all kind of stuff is cool. You're gonna think all kind of stuff is normal and cool because of your family background. That's how y'all did it.
That's
Right.
And so therefore,
We always slap folks in the face.
I just pushed you. I didn't hit you.
Ah!
Like, what? Hold on.
I shook her.
Right.
You're going to jail now.
That's
the
not
problem.
normal. That's not. You need somebody that says that tells you that is not normal.
Yeah.
Right.
You cannot continue that behavior.
Yeah.
You need to get that in line. You need to test that. And if you don't have that, who knows?
Bad deal.
That's a bad deal. All
In
right.
marriage too, though,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
because some stuff she's looking like.
I feel like y'all just started talking to each other like, no, keep going.
Once again, the word real, you gotta have a friend who can look at your situation from the outside
Yeah.
and correct you.
Yes.
Not just side with you all the time. Say,
Yeah.
you're right, though. She did see that.
But and you got to be strong enough to receive that correction.
Absolutely.
Because some people be in denial.
Oh,
That's true.
So does everybody do this thing but yours?
yeah.
Everybody.
That's true. Maturity.
So, all right. Last one. I think we're at number 5.
Yeah, number five. If you're looking for a dude and you want to make sure this dude is the right one, you want to be able to look at him and see leadership. Okay?
I would agree with that.
Not domination.
Right.
Okay?
Okay. Speak
There's
on
a
that.
difference.
Submit.
Right. They're not.
Because submission is
Fuck
not.
me and
People
shit.
don't like that word.
Submission is not a dirty word.
Right. It is not. If used properly, it
If
is.
used properly.
It is not a dirty word. It's actually a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
But you want to look at this dude and say, that's a leader.
What are some traits? What are some traits? I mean, I know it's 2016, 17. I don't know.
Well, they don't follow the crowd. They make wise choices. They admit when they're wrong. They seek counsel. There are quite a few traits. You have any traits?
Yeah, vision. You got to be able to see some stuff.
Okay.
And you got to have some wise discernment. You have to be a discerning person. But going back to the vision point, you have to be able to see where you're going.
Absolutely.
If you're going to take people with you,
Right.
you need to be able to communicate to the people.
Right.
This is where we're headed.
Right.
This is the outcome
Right.
that we're looking to attain.
So if he's still trying to find himself, and maybe the young lady's still trying to find herself, so it's possible that they probably just need to stay in that dating space for a little bit before even talk about
I would say yes. When if you're talking marriage, okay, and you don't know exactly where you're trying to go, hold off. To me, hold off on getting married.
I agree with that.
Okay, but if you're talking marriage, you got to know. Okay, I want us to be in this position. I want us to have children. You know, I want our family to look like this. This is the kind of legacy I'm trying to develop. This is what I want to pass down, and be able to. Now that stuff is going to change as you guys grow and mature.
Yeah.
But at least you're starting from a position of knowledge.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're starting from that position.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up, how do guys and girls get this introspective? I know a lot of women do like vision boards, and you know, women are more introspective. So as a guy, like, did y'all journal? Is it just you talking to folks? Like, how do you get a guy to back away from everything, all the distractions, and just like get centered enough to be like, all right, this is what I want to do, this is how I do it. Homework every 5 minutes, is there a book you read? You know, like, what is that?
It is a book you read.
It's a book you read?
It's the Bible.
Did you write it?
It's the Bible.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, listen, and this is
You
being
got
so
through
real.
Is this a book you read?
No,
Tell me more.
I'm being
Okay.
serious.
Yeah.
In your devotional life, which is another thing that we could add to the whole conversation. If somebody's trying to grow in Christ, there will be some form of a devotional life
Yeah.
where they go and they seek the Lord's face by themselves. Not from a pastor or a preacher or their mama or their daddy or whatever, by themselves. And in the course of doing that, as the Lord starts speaking to you, quite naturally, in some cases, you're going to say, you know what, let me jot that down.
Yeah.
And so when you ask, does a brother journal? A lot of brothers don't journal. I never journaled. In the past, I had to put the ED on there. In the past, I never journaled. But once I got married, I started to, when you talk about communicating a vision or a dream to your spouse, I had to write it down so I could be able to look at it and say, okay, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and in 2 years we'll do this, and in 3 years we'll do that. So I had to write stuff down. And after doing that, you get checked. Because as you write stuff down, you're like, you know what, this doesn't make sense. You pray about it, and the Lord refines that vision for you and your family. And then that becomes something you talk to with your partners, your friends, your mentors, the people that disciple you, your pastors or whatever, and you get counsel. And then once you feel like it's a solid way to go, okay, baby, here's the story. Boom. You sit down and talk about it.
I think you need to write a book too.
Come on.
Because I've got
Write
the
one.
Okay,
see,
okay.
message.
There it is.
Right.
That's dope. Because the Bible is your starting point. But then,
Absolutely.
I know there are a lot of people who are like, okay, but then I'm gonna, I don't know. I still got King James, even though there is the message version. But some people, it's like in addition to the Bible, there are other resources. So
Absolutely.
I'm
I
happy.
read a lot of books too. I'm pretty sure you and your wife, you guys read books over the years?
Tons of them.
Give me one good book.
Love and Respect.
Love and Respect.
Yeah. Last name of the author is Eggridge.
Right.
Love and Respect. Last name Ep3 is probably gonna come up at the bottom of the screen.
5 Love Languages.
Hey, yes, that's a good one.
Becoming One. There's quite a few.
Becoming one. All right, cool. Well, y'all got some resources to the fellas. Do better, to quote the great Kanye West.
The great.
He was a prophet. He was a prophet Yeezy.
I missed that
I know
one.
he
I
preached about it.
completely overlooked that one.
But no, I think this is great. I think this is like a really good snippet of if you ever wanted to have a good starting point.
Yes.
Both guys and girls to know what to look for and who to be in a dating relationship. I think y'all got enough of a little nugget, a little morsel on that. Morsel is a morsel.
Just to get a morsel.
Just get a little morsel, a little taste test. Copycat Smith. We can just keep adding words about little mites.
The adjective day.
But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to AD and to Caz for just being real dudes to help you all find your real dude. Until next time, it has been a pleasure. I am your host, Yvonne Orgy. God bless you. Bye.